built their thrones on the bones of the old, wrapped themselves in silk while the small folk froze in cold. Every crown was paid for with somebody's blood, every castle standing on somebody's flood. I was born in a kingdom that worshipped the name of the house that held a sword and called it a claim. But the sword doesn't care whose hand holds the hilt, and the iron doesn't remember who it spilt. The ravens bring news, but the ravens lie too. Every king that ever lived thought the kingdom was true, but the night is dark and the fire burns fast, and nothing made of power was ever built to last. Fire and dust, that's all that remains of the ones who swore their blood would always reign. The dragon screams, the dire wolf mourns, every rose has died upon its thorns. Fire and dust, the great and the small, winter came for every one of them all. You can seize the throne, you can wear the crown, but fire and dust is all that's handed down. There was a girl who crossed the narrow sea with nothing but a name and a dragon's memory. There was a boy who never asked to be a king, who carried the weight of every living thing. There was a woman who wore grief like a gown, who smiled at the men who tried to take her down. There was a knight who kept his vow in the cold, whose name no song ever thought to be told. The ravens bring news, but the ravens don't grieve. They carry the words of the ones who still breathe. But the ones who mattered most in the end were the ones who loved someone they couldn't defend. Fire and dust, that's all that remains of the ones who swore their blood would always reign. The dragon screams, the dire wolf mourns, every rose has died upon its thorns. Fire and dust, the great and the small, winter came for every one of them all. You can seize the throne, you can wear the crown, but fire and dust is all that's handed down. They asked what the realm was worth dying for, and every answer led to another war. The throne was never the point, don't you see? It was always about who we chose to be. The mother who burned what she loved to the ground, the bastard who walked away from his crown, the little lion who outlived them all, the girl who stared into the dark and said, "Not today," to the fall. Power is a fire that eats its own hand, and the iron throne was built on a dead man's plan. But somewhere in the ashes, somewhere in the grave, a few of them remembered what it meant to be brave. Fire and dust, that's all that remains, but the stories of the fallen still echo in the rain. The dragon sleeps, the dire wolf runs free, and the wall still stands in someone's memory. Fire and dust, the great and the small, we light a candle for the ones who gave it all. You can lose the throne, you can lose the crown, but fire and dust is how the brave are found. But fire and dust is how the brave are found. Oh, the north remembers, the river runs red, the throne sits empty for the living and the dead. Valar Morghulis, all men must die, but not all men lived before they said goodbye.